Hi guys, welcome to Windsome Cottage Garden. My name is Hannah and I'm so glad that you decided to join me today. We recently did a cottage garden tour at the end of June, which I'll link below here if you missed it. And in it I said, we gotta come do this, we gotta do that. This is the video we're gonna do it. I have about an hour and a half today and an hour tomorrow morning. We're gonna see all that we can get done in that time to get things looking good. So I thought what I would do is get you set up, go through a time lapse, and then probably come back tomorrow after everything's done to give you an overview of the whole area. So let's go get started. Well, guys, it is a new day. We didn't quite get as far in that project as I thought we would because it honestly took a really long time to get done. I ended up doing that front bed and getting it all cleaned up. We'll go look at it in just a second. I thought that was going to take me like 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I think it took me like 2.5 hours because got in there was more than I thought. Then I took after the ivy, and then I started finding all these seedlings that I wanted to move to other areas. And it just, evolved as oftentimes things do when you are gardening. Let's go look at this front bed. It's looking really good, and we will go check in on the plants that we've planted, some of which are looking good, some of which are looking a little sad, but I think we'll buck up as time goes on. It is a slightly odd time of day, so I'm hoping you can see it well because it's all in shade, but here it is. I did spend a lot of time on this ivy arch, which we are so thrilled with how it is looking. Now, I know ivy is something that a lot of people have been like, I can't believe you're planting that right up against your house. What you can't really see is it's about an inch or two off the house. And what you might have been able to tell I did is periodically we get in there. It's been a while since I've done it. We kind of just pull the trellis away from the house, make sure nothing's sticking. If anything's sticking, I pull it back. I prune some things back. And we've been able to keep it in check. This has been in place, I want to say 3-ish years, and it's almost all the way over. The only spot that needs some work is obviously right there. And I am just absolutely thrilled with how it looks. What we're going to do, and you may have seen me do, is we keep it pretty much contained to the pillars. We just pull it out routinely. It takes a little bit of love, but if you keep after it and check in on it, it's not that bad. Might not be for everybody, but in this area in particular, I think it looks great, and it helps break up this really big wall that is just on the end of our garage. The astilbe are just popping off right now. I don't know if you can really see, but they are covered with pollinators. The one that there's a couple things I'm noticing. This one right here is a Mighty Chocolate Cherry astilbe. You probably saw me dig out this bleeding heart, hack it in half, and plant this back. I cut it back because it was dying back, so it's going to be fine. It already had absorbed all the energy it needed, and hopefully it's a little bit more of a manageable size. I think that combined with the weight of some of these plumes meant that all the chocolate cherry blooms have kind of fallen over. I'm not sure that's the best placement for it. One of the things I'm considering is shifting it. I'm considering a couple things. I'm considering taking the whole plant and popping it in the bed over there where we have some others, because there's another spot I'd like to stick one. I'm considering digging up the plant and, cutting it in like half, because I think we probably could. And the other thing I'm considering is digging it up and shifting it to here-ish, because if I stand back, there's a little bit of an unweightedness right here. Now this, if it was standing tall, would be about there. This is an ironbark that got eaten by deer. We're going to move it. It was an experiment to put it there. I really think a pyramidal box would look good, but the deer are going to eat it. So we're thinking about trying to see if we can find a dwarf spruce they might leave alone. We're going to think about it a little bit. But there is like an unevenness, so I could either move it over here. That might not be a bad spot, actually, now that I'm sitting back and thinking about it, because we don't have any astilbes in this area. It's tall. It'd be a little protected from the water, which helps it, and it would match the others down the way. I think that would actually look really good. I might do that. What I probably would do is do it when we dig this out, but it depends if we decide not to put something there. Right now we're leaning towards wanting to put something there, so we might just have to live with it a little bit. But it looks really good. This whole bed is coming together. I want to see, I have some pictures from when we started this bed, because I actually planted it on my channel. And I think I've got like a 1-year view, a 2-year view, a 3-year view, and this is its 4th season. And here's the other side. It looks so good. You're going to see this in an upcoming video. We're planting something in here and in other areas. And I just have it sitting there because I was feeling it out and feeling the vibe. But we did a lot of tidying up of the Brennera, which makes it look so much neater. And the Ligularia is just going, these are the spiky plumes. In retrospect, it would have been nice if instead of the spiky blooms, I got the kind that have like daisy type things. But these love their areas. They bring such a bold leaf texture and add a pop of yellow that is really, really nice. One thing that I don't think would be a positive of moving that over here is we already have some other darker colors. Maybe I get another Mighty Pip. I think that's what they called it. It's the pink one, which honestly is going to get a little bit taller, and stick that there so it's mirrored on the arch. That could be pretty, and it would bring some like lightness to this area. So I don't know, I might end up digging that out. I have obviously not yet decided what I'm going to do, but it flops a lot, which is, you know, not uncommon. This bed is also slightly overhead water dripped, and it would be better if we got a drip line in it. There's a lot of different things I could do, things to think about. It's also a little tall. If I did leave it, I'd have to move this guy. I'm rambling a little bit, but there's a spot right here that I was thinking about digging that up in the fall and moving it right here. So it's not so much of a hole, but it's really pretty. We also have in here, this is a baby bleeding heart that I just left because I thought that would be a pretty place. And then we'd have 1, 2, and you can see over here, there's some babies that I think these might be white, which is why I left them. And I'm not sure, I'm going to pay attention to this area and dig some of these up probably next year, but we've got some here. So that would be 3 spots of bleeding heart. That would be really pretty. And I do think we need to get a couple of different colors in here. Maybe some more white astilbe. It's just beautiful. This one, look at this, guys. Now this is mostly flies covering it. The flies are pollinators too, and the bees are all over the ligularia. It's interesting. There's no bees on this particular. This is called an ostrich plume astilbe. And its habit, this is its habit, which is interesting for astilbe. They're normally more like this, which is like more upright. And this one has more of like an amaranthy vibe. I really like it. I actually just bought one for my house, so you're going to be learning more about it soon when I get that planted. I also bought a Mighty Chocolate Cherry. So going back to the purpose of this video, I spent a lot of time cleaning in here. The ivy took a little bit longer than I thought. Moving the plants took a little bit longer than I thought. And there were so many of the Brunnera seedlings. I have left 4 Brunnera in here. Yeah, I thought I was leaving 5, and then I realized that we didn't have one where I wanted one. And I think what I'm just going to do is save one for next time and leave it in the 5th spot. They're a great edge of the border plant. So there's one actually there. I can barely see it. There's one here. I'd like to stick one in this area. In an ideal world, it would go like right where this hellebore is. So I might tuck it right there, but at the edge, it'd be really pretty right there. Anyway, so that would be 3, 4, 5. I really like to do things in odd multiples, so that would be pretty. But just developing this bed a little bit more. It's more fine-tuning right now. I should have put one there, but I didn't. Instead, I planted them along our like ferns on the back side of the garage. So as we turn the corner, you can see, and I'm not going to spend too much time here because we're going to be working in it in a video you will see soon. I just tucked a couple in here. We've got ferns that are kind of growing a little higher than anticipated. We do like it, but I stuck one of them here because these ferns, though beautiful right now, in the spring, this is very empty because everything is just coming up. So for spring interest, we put Brunnera in here. I stuck one there, one here, which is looking okay. And then the anemones, which I think we're going to pull out of this bed because we wanted a place to keep them contained, but they don't do very well. They don't get much sun here. So I think I'm going to stick them somewhere else and add something else. But then I did stick another Brunnera here. And I think there must have only been one there. And then I did another 2. 1 and 2. And this is the one that's looking a little sad. Bummer. I definitely put more in pots, most of which are going to my house and going to be put there. Half of the bleeding heart is going to my house. And I do have one seedling that I'm going to tuck in the sunny deer resistant bed around the corner right there. But there's a couple other things I'm planting at the same time. So you will see that in a video probably next week. So altogether, this probably took me 2.5, 3 hours to get done. And it looks a lot cleaner. It looks a lot better, as I've said. And I think I probably should have been in it before this. But say Livy, I think that it just had gotten a little further away. It was interesting because there were so many seedlings, and usually I cut the Brunnera's flowers back before this point in time. And I think part of the reason why there were so many seedlings is because I didn't do it as soon as I normally did, which I appreciated having them. I'm going to find good homes for them, but in the future, I would probably like to not do that. So I will aim to clean them up earlier next year. Anyway, that is really it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, checking in on this bed, doing a little maintenance, and, you know, taking a ton of plants out of it. I think I am taking 2 seedling pots, 1/2 of a bleeding heart, I think 1 or 2 different Brunneras, and then a ton of Millennium Allium, which I didn't even really focus on, but they are going to be blooming probably in the next garden tour. They're putting up their little heads right now, and they're slowly going to open. And that'll be a really pretty time to see. So if you like this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe so you don't miss a moment of this garden's journey. Check back because we're going to be planting one of those bleeding hearts, as well as a wealth of other things, including that pretty foxglove that you got a little bit of a sneak peek of at the end here. We're going to be going back to the home garden soon. And doing a garden tour mid-July, as well as working on a couple new bed projects, which I'm really excited about. We've been making leaps and bounds there, and I'm working through my plant hoard. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And I moved last fall and divided anything that I could. So I've got a plant hoard that I overwintered that had over 100 plants in it, and I've been slowly chipping away. My goal is to get 85% of it planted. And I told myself I wasn't going to be adding more plants to it, but I'm actually headed back to the home garden today, and all these things are coming back with me. Some of them came with me, and I didn't do anything with them, but these are all coming back, and these are also coming back. So I am not doing a very good job of like sticking to I'm not going to buy new plants. In my defense, I'm like, well, these are things I'll use to help me round out the beds that I'm adding because they're different than the ones I have, which is true. But I probably didn't need them. Some of them I just couldn't resist, and you'll have to check back to see where they end up in the garden. Anyway, I really appreciate you joining me today and all the days that you do, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.